Today, we will be taking a look at a unique collaboration between Sideshow Collectibles and the company Purearts in the form of 3 highly detailed Courtofthedead statuettes. In 1/8 scale, the line was developed to be a more space-conscientious way of displaying your Courtofthedead collectibles than Sideshow's 1/4 polystone counterparts, all without sacrificing too much quality or detail. The line consists of 1 representative of each of the 3 factions of the underworld: Gethsemoni, flesh; Xiall, bone; and Kier, spirit. Each statuette is crafted out of PVC, retails for under $100, and measures 10 to 13 inches tall and 7 inches at the base. And now an excerpt from Courtofthedead, Chronicle of the Underworld. The faction of flesh. Gethsemoni, queen of the dead. When Death set out making the court, he knew his creation must be as different from himself as possible if they were to act as a counterweight to his impulses. His firstborn, Gethsemoni, is certainly that: beautiful, mercurial, a lover of intrigues of all kinds. She is also the first and most accomplished practitioner of necromancy. Like a mother, she can wound or heal with a look, and possesses an uncanny ability to learn the innermost secrets of one's heart with little effort. To look upon Gethsemoni is to be intoxicated by her radiance, but beware, avert your eyes for a moment and she will have changed. She carries the psychic imprint of thousands of mothers, daughters, wives, and sisters within her, and each one rises and submerges without warning. And know too that Gethsemoni is beautiful in a way that is uncommon in the land of the dead, echoing the women of the mortal realm who went into her making. But for all that beauty, there is something monstrous there too. Underestimate her at your own peril, for she is Death's firstborn, the leader of the faction of flesh, the queen of the underworld, and a loving mother to countless devotees, and the most creative spirit our realm has ever produced.
The faction of bone. Xiall, the great osteomancer. Xiall is the highest administrative authority in the underworld, but that position is separate from her title as Chancellor of the Council of Osteomancy. It is in this second role that she leads the bone faction with dogmatic adherence to tradition that some find restrictive, although none deny its efficiency. Xiall was made by Death to be logical and dedicated, and in that role she surpasses his expectations. Moderation is unknown to her. She desires only that the land of the dead rise to its highest potential. Despite being one of Death's original 12 creations, she was granted no title at birth. Perhaps this too was part of his plan. For the carving out of her station, she and her brother Singvoth founded the philosophy of bone, one of the guiding factions of the underworld. Through the rigors of this discipline, Xiall and Singvoth developed the sophisticated science of osteomancy, a practice that fortifies, defends, and organizes our realm. Xiall is a self-made being in many ways, but whether this is a boon to the underworld remains to be seen.
The faction of spirit. Kier, first sword of death. The fallen Valkyrie holds a sharp-edged mirror to Illverness's loose and ethereal aspects. A volatile fire burns within her, a side of spirit that is always present, but often unacknowledged. This dual sense of identity seems to suit the spirit faction, allowing it to be detached from the trivialities, yet capable of galvanization by passionate purpose, such as that provided by the first sword of death. Kier is far from a mourner at peace in the underworld, but that very attitude imparts to her strength. Kier began her life in heaven, along with her gestational sister Sirin, fated to become Valkyrie, an angelic warrior. But upon her making, Sirin's comet fell through Kier's, robbing her of her essence. The twins were thus offset, one strong and radiant, the other not but a shadow child. Kier was considered an aberration, something heaven could not abide, and so she was cast out, banished from her natural realm, left to perish in cold and solitude. Instead, she was found by Death. Perhaps he was drawn to her strength, perhaps by her resilience. Death brought Kier to the underworld and raised her as his daughter, breathing enough of his own essence into her being to mark her as under his protection. In time, she grew even stronger, and earned her place as the first sword of death. As you can see, Death's children stand perfectly at home with the curious shepherd. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and remember, never stop collecting.